Me and Christopher just came out here to the dairy. They're just finishing up the last little bit of manure. You can see the drag line behind me. They're loading some trucks. They're loading out of the lagoon. So let me show you the lagoon real quick, and we'll show you a little bit of what happened to the weeping wall as well.
One step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break.
Yep. And so the drag line's over there. We got our trucks loading up. We probably don't need this many trucks, but you can see that's all lagoon water right there. There's probably, I don't know, what would you say, like 2 feet? 2 feet of solid manure sitting on top of the lagoon water.
In some spots. Out here maybe 2 feet or so, but
yeah,
over there you can see it's, not as much. But
yeah, that side doesn't look like there's quite as much. They've already scooped right here, but it looks like there's some more solid that's kind of come up.
So the solid usually always floats to the top, the water goes to the bottom, because the solid has some air in it. It's aerated a little bit.
Yeah. So they're reaching what he can with the, I mean, you can see that's how far he can reach. He was parked right here, and that's how far he can reach with that drag line. So he's reaching what he can. I mean, he can't get over here to reach right here, but they're just working on this today. So maybe today and tomorrow, and they might be out of manure. This is all of what's left of what we're hauling. We're not gonna haul any of the solid that's back over there. But yeah, just that's what's left of what we're doing with the manure.
Our goal is to get enough solids out of here that they could probably back it up and fill their liquid manure spreader with their tractor with what's left in there, kind of mix it with water, and then pump their lagoon out and spread it with that spreader.
Yeah, if we can, because right now there's so much solids in here that they can't pump this out. So they're trying to reveal the liquid so they can fill up their tanker. But they're gonna try and get it cleaned out as much as we can, because obviously this is the water we pump to our fields, and it's hard to pump when it looks like that. It's got weeds growing on top of it. So now we'll go over here and look at the weeping wall, which you can see isn't there. So there's the weeping wall. So this is where he was digging with the drag line at the beginning. So it's all kind of sloped down. But the weeping wall, once he got the manure out from in front of it, it just collapsed. So right here is where the pipes are that go under this road into the lagoon. And yeah, the drain's over there, and there's that little channel that goes into this little spot. You can see that it's already starting to fill up with water. But yeah, the weeping wall is toast. So we're not entirely sure. It's kind of why we came out here, to see what the situation was. We're not entirely sure what the plan is. If the dairy wants help with trying to fix this weeping wall, or obviously there's no way to fix it. We'd have to do something completely different. But yeah, it's a little bit of a mess. We're trying to figure out how we can help. This is one of the upper areas, and this is the front wall, and you can see that it's already clear up to here, but it's clear full, but it's only about a foot, maybe 2 feet deep back there in the back. So they're already getting manure piled up, but it's so sloppy. We need the weather to turn and freeze so it can be stacked up nice and high, frozen. So the next thing on the agenda, because we don't know what we're doing with the lagoon weeping wall. Yeah, I don't even know. They're not sure what they're gonna do. We don't know what we're gonna do, so we're just gonna let them figure it out. If they want help, they'll let us know. But the next thing on the agenda is we got to get some tools, because we have a truck that is broke down at some of the sellers that we're renting, that actually broke down during potato harvest, and it's been sitting there ever since. We need to go and get it aired up and take it over to the mechanic so he can start working on it. We're not entirely sure what's wrong with it. We just know that it isn't working very well. We think the engine might be blown, but I guess we'll find out. So I'm in the process of gathering up a few tools. Josh is out in the disc tractor, he's disking. Trevor is out in the chisel plow tractor, he's chisel plowing. We have probably 2 more days of disking left, and then we might get the chisel plowing done this week. We really need to get it done this week, because the ground is going to freeze. Next week, it's gonna be, I think the highs are not even 32 degrees. So the ground's gonna freeze next week. So we've got about this week to get all the field work done that we need to get done. And then we just start working on stuff and fixing everything that's broken, which is a lot of stuff. We have a lot of broken things. But yeah, I'm gonna get the repair truck, and Christopher's back behind the dairy pushing up some manure so we can get to some risers that got broken. And yeah, I'm gonna go get him, and we're gonna go see if we can get this truck to the mechanic. Okay, Christopher and I are out here. I'm trying to block the wind, but it is a little windy. We're moving this pivot because Trevor is down there in the tractor, in the chisel plow. We've been chisel plowing this field. This is a hay field that we're gonna be putting into spuds. This is the one I was chisel plowing in the chisel plowing video that I did a little bit ago. But yeah, so Trevor couldn't get this pivot to move. It had a couple tricky things, like it's got an old switch up on the top that you have to flip. So we're moving this pivot, and then we're gonna run over and get that truck to the mechanic. So we turned it on, and it is very slowly moving, but we do need to work up underneath the pivot right here. So that's what we're doing right now, and then we'll head over to the truck. Well, we did not have to move the truck. So after we got done with Trevor, we went over, and the truck wasn't there. It wasn't where we left it. So we went and drove over to the mechanic, and he must have went over there and got it, because we did tell him about it and tell him where it was. So he must have went and grabbed it and didn't tell us. So it's already over there at the mechanic getting worked on. So I am now in our 8330 tractor. It's got our furrow filler, our track filler for our pivot tracks on the back. And we need to unhook it and park this thing for winter, because winter is going to be coming pretty soon. It looks like next week the temperature is like the highs. There's a few days where the highs don't even break 32 degrees. So it's going to be cold coming real soon. So we're just getting the last few things buttoned up. We got to park this and a few other things. We're going to try and get, I think today's the last day they're going to be hauling manure out of the lagoon, and then we're gonna spend the rest of this week just washing all the trucks up and getting them parked and kind of getting them ready for winter. And then in the winter we will bring them in one at a time, and we'll service all of them. But for right now, I'm just going to unhook this thing. So I got to go figure out where it was sitting, so I can find, it has to sit on some logs to get it to the right angle so it'll actually come off. So I got to go figure out where it was sitting. Found where it was sitting. It was sitting on this log right here to try and keep it level. So I'm gonna back it in here, and then I have to go flip those little metal release hooks, and we'll see if we can get it unhooked and go park this tractor. All done. Okay, now I gotta go park this thing, and then I'm gonna pull in the truck that's over there, that red one, because we gotta take the radiator out of that because it has a hole in it. I'm gonna park it in this cellar. Hey look, you can see me in the reflection. But this cellar is pretty well full because of all of our spud equipment that we put in here. So it's filling up. Yeah, we're gonna use this as a storage shed this year because we don't want to get all this stuff out in the sun all the time. So should store a lot of stuff in here for sure. All right, so yeah, we decided, since we didn't fill up this cellar with potatoes, I got it. There we go. We put all of our new Spudnik equipment that we got this year in here. All the conveyors are over there, even flow bins on the other side over here. And yeah, we even have there's our old seed cutter and our dusters. We have the grain drill in here. We've got three of our tractors in here. The other two tractors are still doing field work. So they'll be, I don't know if we're gonna put those in here. I think there's enough space right here for the combine, as long as it'll fit through the door. So not sure if we're gonna put the other tractors in here. Well, we might be able to put the other tractors in here and the combine. Maybe. That'd be awesome if we could fit it all in here. I've got a comment contest, a contest if you will, for you guys. What is you guys' best farming fail story? So Any farm fail stories? Yes, it's windy. Sorry about that. Put them down in the comments, and whatever one is, we're gonna say whatever one's the funniest. We'll pin it. So I don't want stories where people died, because that's never fun. But funny farm fail stories. Best one gets pinned. Some of the funny stories from this year is we were digging a trench. Previous video, earlier in the year, we had a mainline break. We were digging a trench, and Trevor was down in the hole, and there was water in the puddle. Christopher was in the backhoe, and he takes the bucket and just goes boom! It just splashes just muddy water all over Trevor, completely covered him. It was hilarious. Trevor didn't think it was so funny, but it was pretty funny. Okay, I just pulled this truck in. This is the truck that has a hole in the radiator. So let's pop this open and we'll see what we got here. This was the truck I was driving. Hey, look at that. I'm not sure where the hole's at because it didn't start leaking on me. It was Trevor who was driving it. Oh, there we go. That would do it right there. So looks like there's a little piece here that was connected right there like that, and it broke. Well darn. I don't know if that's something we can fix. Yeah, it just snapped it off right there. So we're gonna have to pull this whole radiator out and have them repair it. Hopefully they can just put a new end piece on. Well, that's a bummer. But on another note, we have this problem. So this is our shop door, and it just about didn't want to come down. Oh, that is not wanting to focus. Come on, focus. Well, there you go. This has come out of this bracket. I also noticed like we have a huge gap here, and on the other side, there's like no gap. This is the other side. No gap, and the door is rubbing this side piece really hard. And I'm not sure why. So, I mean, it looks like the whole door needs to shift over, but I am not entirely sure how to do that. I mean, it is closing and it's sealed, like, I don't know. I don't know what the heck's going on here. But for now, I'm going to get that put back in. That's the only one that's bent. So I'm gonna go get a hammer and do some hammering. There. Well, it's not good as new, but at least it's back in there. Okay, I'm in the process of trying to get the good old radiator out of here. I've undone a few bolts, but I have to take the hoses off. And hopefully, I did put a bucket underneath it, but it's just squirting out. It's clear full of coolant, so. It looks like most of it is going in the bucket, just running down. So, no, we'll catch as much as we can. It is dirt right here. That's kind of why I backed up as far as I did. I'm just off the concrete. So hopefully it'll just soak into the dirt. I may go get a screwdriver and see if I can, if it'll just slowly leak out like this, you know, that'd be great. Because if I pop that off and it just rushes all the coolant out, I know it's got like 8 gallons. That would be a huge mess. So we may just slowly drain it like this. So this, we've got it finally drained out and unhooked, but we have to figure out to move this if I want to unhook it here or just try and bend it out of the way. So we're getting there. Well, I have it all unhooked now. I had to unhook the intercooler as well, but the intercooler is hitting on the radiator, and the radiator was hitting on the intercooler down there where the pipe is, right there. So I couldn't pull any of that out. And everybody else has already left me. So this is all I can do. I cannot lift all this stuff out of here by myself. So I'm done for the day. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. It was a little bit different. At least it's not hauling manure every day anymore. So if you did, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Love you.